Hi, I'm Michael. Welcome to Tamenuri studio. As you can see, in a new place, a new apartment, new studio, and today we will be treating a patient. Patient is a Danitrio sho-genkai and with some problems, and we will apply some medicine on it. So this is our patient. It's Danitrio sho-genkai, so the shorter version of genkai. Same diameter, it's really girthy pen, but slightly, maybe not slightly, but genkai is like 17 centimeters long. This one is just 155 millimeters long. It's dark green with beautiful nashi, so silver, probably silver powder, embedded in several layers of urushi. And it's not just a typical powder, because nashi is powder which is irregular and flattened, so it behaves beautiful in urushi. I showed this technique on some of my pens recently, and this one was sent to me to stop the process of deterioration of the surface of urushi. The problem with this pen is not visible for the naked eye, but if you look at it under a magnification, you will see that there are small pits and imperfections on the surface which become bigger with time, because it was not probably it was not sealed well, or there was some additive to nashi, or the nashi itself was used not good enough quality. The pen is beautiful, it's an eyedropper, and I will disassemble it, mount it on holders, and do something with it. Actually, I will cover it with urushi diluted with high quality raw urushi diluted with turpentine. It's urushi-gatame, and it will fill those pores, those pits, and prevent it from further deterioration, but it will not influence the look of the pen in any way. So the first step is to disassemble the pen. So we have a section, we have a cap. I will remove the clip in a moment. I will not remove the blind cap used for the rod and the seal here, but I will withdraw a little bit just to make it possible to put it on the holder. I need to unscrew one small screw inside here to remove the clip. It's typical for those pens, and also typical for Italian pens, as far as I know, this way of putting the clip inside the cup, mounting it inside the cup. Okay, so we have 3 parts, actually 4, but 2 of them on the same holder. I prepared holders, and I will mount the pen on them. I use just a electrical tape or masking tape to adjust the diameter of the holder to my needs for each pen. Some of the holders I turn to size, but some of them are universal, and they are adapted by just use of some tape. So we have 2 parts, and third one is section. So pen is ready, and first what I need to do is to clean it. I will use a turpentine for this, and I will use very soft cloth, special lint-free cloth I use for most of my job with urushi. And I need to remove all dirt and all the grease I could have applied on this pen, or the owner of this pen could have put on it from fingers or from whatever. I will not mask the threads because I will use just a tiny amount of the mixed urushi and turpentine, and I just know that I will not touch the threads. Okay. I need to be very careful with this part because it's the rod on which this part is mounted on is ebonite too, so it can be broken easily, probably. Maybe not easily, but it could be if I'm not careful. Okay, I will use high quality raw urushi. It's kijomi urushi. Just a tiny bit. And I will dilute it more or less 50% with turpentine, so like 2 drops of turpentine. In the meantime, the turpentine I used to clean the pen will evaporate completely. And as usual, it's very similar to Wazuri I do with my pens. I will use lint-free paper used by specialists who take care of light fibers. So they use stuff which is extremely delicate and soft and lint-free. And I reckon it's good for urushi, and it works for me for quite some time, so I will use it on this pen too. I rub it in quite liberally because I want this mixture of urushi and turpentine to soak in those pores and bits in the surface of the pen. What is interesting, the section is slightly different than the rest of the pen. I can easily see that the craftsman who made the pen probably applied a little bit too many layers on the section, and it happens, or the layers were too thick. And when he finished the pen, or almost finished the pen, so was on a polishing stage, sanding stage, he noticed that the section is like a fraction of a millimeter too wide for the threads in the cup. And he polished it, or sanded it first and then polished it slightly more than the cup and the barrel, and then followed with Wazuri. But this way, those specks on the section, those nashi powder, is much more visible and much shinier than on the rest of the pen. Quite interesting thing. Well, it happens. The funny thing with urushi is that I see a lot of urushi craftsmen, artists, or people who try urushi. They make a lot of mistakes. I make mistakes too. But the funny thing is that I see the pen which is, well, I see the mistakes. I see what was the problem. I see where he or she over polished, or the layer was not even or not flat enough, or he missed a layer or something like that, or was too lazy to sand and polish it enough. But once the problem appears after 2 or 3 more layers, or after the pen is finished, there is a kind of maybe not explanation, because they do not even call it a problem or a issue, but they say it was intentional. It is funny. Okay, so now once the parts, once the urushi is soaked in on all the parts, I will rub it off. So it will stay only in those pores and bits. I'm using very soft kind of just simple wipes, very similar to Kleenex or something like that. Okay, and now the blind cup. I just wipe the urushi off. And ready for today, because tomorrow, after I put it in the furo in 72-75 degrees percentage of humidity, I will check the surface and I will decide if I repolish the pen with migaki powder or apply another layer of diluted urushi to fill those pores in. That's it for today. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.